Taking a live look this morning from Charlotte-Douglas International Airport there on the right side of your screen. This morning, though, investigators are looking into how a body ended up in the plane's landing gear. The remains were found during a maintenance operation at about 9 a.m. Sunday. It's believed that that person may have been a stowaway on a recent flight from Europe. So far, though, there has not been public identification as to who that was. CMPD's homicide unit, though, is investigating.
Now, Queen City News reached out to both Charlotte-Douglas Airport and American Airlines. Both companies directed us to Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police.
So, of course, there are still a lot of questions this morning surrounding that death investigation. So we're going to bring in Queen City News Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot May Beeler with a look at really, I mean, you don't hear about this. You rarely do.
Rarely. It happens, though, and it is shocking. So, yeah, this appears to be the latest case of a stowaway hiding in the landing gear well of the jet. It's hardly the first time someone has attempted this, but whenever someone does, more often than not, they do not survive. So according to the Federal Aviation Administration, 132 people have tried to stow away in the landing gear of commercial aircraft between 1947 and 2021, the most recent year for data. But since then, there have been at least 8 other incidents, and only 2 of those people survived. That makes the mortality rate for stowaways at around 77%. What kills these people are hypoxia due to inadequate oxygen at high altitudes and hypothermia, basically freezing to death with temperatures as low as minus 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's on top of the risk of being crushed by the landing gear itself or falling out, a risk that is very high.
Megan, I want to ask you in terms of the search process for these airplanes as they're getting ready to go off there. We know everything checks mechanically wise, but is anybody checking okay, where could a stowaway be?
Well, pilots do a pre-flight, a walk around before each flight. They're supposed to, most certainly on the first flight of the day, most certainly when a crew changes, but ideally before every flight and hopefully a post-flight walk around. I have to be honest, when I walk around a jet like that, like on a CRJ, we never really looked way up there in the wheel well. On larger planes, there is more room for someone to hide. But this apparently and typically is found with maintenance. After the plane comes back and they really look up in there, and it's just so sad.
Well, and you mentioned someone being way up in there. What does it look like mechanically? Like, is there even space really for someone? Is it incredibly tight?
It's incredibly tight, and it depends on the plane. The larger planes have more room. The smaller planes, it is incredibly tight. You have to be lean and a small person. It's not comfortable, and it is extremely dangerous. You can be crushed. Of course, freeze to death. There are people who have survived. Typically, if you're young enough and healthy enough, you'll go into a hibernation. And then you'll wake up. But if you're older, someone like me, and we ain't gonna make it. It's very difficult to breathe and you freeze to death. But anyway, so people just don't realize how unsafe this is. But typically these are desperate folks that need to flee their area, or ignorant, or unstable, or all three.
Usually trying to escape an area that is under war or at risk, where they're trying to get to a better place. May, thank you for weighing in on that.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.